All right, thank you for participating today. We are now joined by head coach Eric Musselman, and we'll begin with the questions for him. Use the raise hand function to indicate you'd like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question comes from John Werner from the Waco Tribune-Herald. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, John Warner, Waco Tribune Herald. Coach, what do you see from Baylor's guards, and why are they so hard to defend?
Because they're really good players. Obviously 45 Mitchell can shoot the ball. He can beat his man off the bounce. 12 Butler, great 3-point shooter, great all around player. Number 10 Flagler did a great job last night. Thought he played excellent all around game. 31 Teague. I mean, I can go all the way down the line. They're all great shooters. They can beat you off the bounce. They have great spacing. They defend as perimeter players. This is just a really, really difficult team to prepare for.
All right, our next question comes from Bob Holt from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Thanks, Bob.
Hey, staying on the subject of Baylor's guards, I know they've forced a ridiculous amount of turnovers in this tournament, and their points off turnovers is pretty crazy in their favor. Well, what have you seen from that, and how concerning is that? I know you have good guards. You guys have taken good care of the ball for the most part, but how concerning is the way they can turn people over and turn that into points pretty quick?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to try to avoid catastrophic turnovers, meaning live ball turnovers. We've got to get shots on goal. You've got to move the basketball. You can't, you can't have poor shot selection because I thought Villanova did a really good job for, the first 28 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden, Baylor turned up their defensive intensity and started causing turnovers, and so we're gonna have to, like I said, avoid any catastrophic turnovers and try to get shots on goal and take care of the basketball and you put that thing on the deck and they'll swarm to you. They'll leave the strong side corner. They'll attack the ball with multiple people when you try to get in the lane. So it'll be really important for us to have patience and to make the right reads against defensive converges.
All right, next question comes from Curtis Wilkerson from Hog Sports. Go ahead, Curtis.
Hey, Coach, congratulations again on the win last night. To feed off of some of what you've been talking about, Baylor being difficult to prepare for, how do you come off of an emotional win like you did last night that's so physically and mentally draining and turn the page and prepare on short order for a game like this?
I mean, it's a great question, Curtis. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of the tournament. We're not going to have the time to prepare we had, an ABC and actually went to our D coverage last night against Oral Roberts. We're not going to have that opportunity from a preparation standpoint. We did start our preparation last night when we got back to the hotel, and we were able to eat our team meal together and start having some conversations. And, we've already had a video session at breakfast. There's another one going on right now that I'm not part of, and Devo won't be part of. And Devo and I'll sit down individually and go through what the team's going through right now. And then we get back to the hotel. We'll do another. And our film sessions are really short. They're like 5 to 7 minutes to try to keep our players' attention. And here at Lucas Oil today, we'll be able to walk through some stuff. But obviously, with the minutes that guys played, we're not going to be able to defend their actions live, which really changes our preparation, because sometimes when you go live, you can tinker a little bit, tweak some things, and playing tomorrow, we're not gonna defend the stuff live, which hardly ever happens to us, not defending situations live. So unique way to prepare, but both teams and all the teams that are in the Elite Eight and trying to make a Final Four, everybody's on the same even playing field as far as preparation time.
The next question is from Scotty Bordelon. Go ahead, Scotty.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned last night that Desi gave you a lift on the glass, and he kind of quietly had 4 assists too. Could you maybe expound on his play, his effort, and the attitude that he's had during this run you're on?
Yeah, I mean, Desi gave us a great lift last night. You know, JD, we felt like he was struggling and pressing too much. And so, you know, the next man up was Desi, and Desi came in and he played a really solid, you know, team game. He got to the basket, missed a layup, but by him drawing an extra defender off his dribble penetration, it allowed Justin Smith to get an easy putback. So his pressure on the rim off the dribble drive, I thought, helped us, which correlates with his assists. You know, we ran a couple plays for him offensively in an isolation situation. You know, when Adams had 3 fouls, and he made the right reads and didn't force things. And you know, against Baylor, you can't force situations. You've got to be able to read the defense. And you know, I have no idea what the game will dictate tomorrow, whether you know we play with a big lineup or a small lineup, or which guards off the bench will be effective. I think you know that's all a feel, and it also depends on the opponent and how they're playing. So, but Desi was really, really good last night, and it's great to have a player with starting experience and has played in so many big games. You know, the last few years at Arkansas to rely on to come off the bench and provide what he provided for us. You know, against Oral Roberts.
Next question comes from Kendall Cott. Go ahead, Kendall.
Kendall Cott, ODB. Are there some ways that playing Texas Tech earlier in the tournament gives you help preparing against Baylor's defense, or are they pretty unique?
I mean, I think every team's kind of unique and has their own identity, their own style, but obviously playing, you know, 2 teams from the conference, you get a little bit of a feel. Yeah, I do think there's some similarities defensively as far as toughness, as far as the physicality. You know, both Baylor and Texas Tech are very, very physical defensive teams. They're also 2 very, very well coached defensive teams. So I think there are some similarities, you know, that we can draw on, maybe some mini themes that we can try to share with our team. But again, I think just, you know, every personnel is slightly different, even if schemes have some similarities to each other.
Next question is from Dudley Dawson. Go ahead, Dudley.
Hey, Coach, I had a football recruit this morning talk about the excitement of watching your basketball team play. Is it hard to quantify the exposure and stuff you get here, or can you quantify it?
I don't think you can really, you know, I don't think you can put, you know, like quantify. I think it's just, it takes on a life of its own every time you would, you know, when you make the tournament, it's got a little bit of life, then you advance, it's got more life, and so on and so forth. That, I mean, I love hearing that. That's awesome. That a football, you know, recruit or whatever would say that about our basketball team. I know that, you know, with our recruits, the success of our baseball team and the success of Coach Neighbors and the women's team and our track teams, both men and women, those are some of the things that we talk about all the time. When you come to Arkansas, it's a campus of champions. And, you know, when you go into that Jones Center and you walk by a track athlete, you know, that track athlete's probably won a national championship. And you walk into the Jones Center to eat or to study, and you walk by a baseball player, and that baseball player, there's a great chance would be a future first-round draft pick or is part of a team that's ranked number 1 in the nation. So I think that, you know, we all feed off each other the more success we can have within our department, but I certainly love to hear that about a football player.
And we'll go back to Bob Holt for our final question. Go ahead, Bob.
Eric, I know Baylor didn't shoot threes very well yesterday, but they're hitting at about 40% rate for the season. What do you think about their 3-point shooting and the challenge that presents to you?
I mean, when you watch them yesterday and you look at the numbers and you see what great 3-point percentages they have, and then you watch them beat people off the bounce and attack the rim off the dribble. I mean, that's why this team's 25-2 and you know, one of the best teams in the country, and a team that can win a national championship and has great talent and is really well coached and has incredible guard play, and their bigs really understand their roles. It looks like they have incredible chemistry, and their roles are clearly defined by the coaching staff. So They present a lot of challenges for sure. Obviously, we've got to, we can't give up threes. It's an area that some games we've been great at when we played Alabama at Bud Walton, and then other games that we've stunk at defending the three, like we did against Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So somewhere we gotta guard the three, and you got to guard them off the bounce.
All right. Thank you, Coach, for your time today.
Thank you. Woo Pig.
We'll be joined momentarily by Devontae Davis. Please use this time to raise or lower your hand as necessary. All right. We are now joined by Devontae Davis, and we'll continue the press conference. Use the raise hand function to indicate you'd like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. We'll start it off with Bob Holt from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Go ahead, Bob.
Thanks. Hey, Devo. I guess did you get any sleep last night? And just kind of, how hard is it to put that game kind of on the back burner and get ready for Baylor on such a quick turnaround?
Hey, how you doing? But yeah, I got some sleep last night. Got a little treatment before I went to sleep. But yeah, last night was amazing. But we got Baylor coming up tomorrow, and so we just got to prepare for that game and get ready.
All right, next question is from Curtis Wilkerson, Hog Sports. Go ahead.
Hey, Devo, obviously you guys have been doing a lot of things right to be continuing to play basketball at this point, but do you get a sense that you guys haven't played your best game yet here at the NCAA tournament? And, what are some things you can do to improve going into this game against Baylor?
Yeah, the best is yet to come for me and the team and the coaching staff. We're ready. We're going to prepare today. We're going to practice, and we're going to try to get all our X's and O's together and try to prepare for this game. Baylor's a great team. They great perimeter shooting team, and they're really tough. And when it comes to the offensive glass, they're really good at it, getting rebounds. So we just got to come in and just be the tougher team, man, and play tough, hard-nosed defense.
Our next question's from Scotty Bordelon. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, Devo, Coach mentioned last night that Desi gave you all a big lift on the glass, and he had 4 boards too. Could you maybe detail what you thought of his game last night and what you're seeing in him as a teammate during this run?
That's the person I look up to. Desi was the person that I came to when I needed questions answered, and he's a great teammate. He's always there for me and for the rest of the guys, and he was here last year, so he knows what Coach Muss expects. And if you need an answer, Desi Seals the man to go to. But he played really well. He contributed, helped us down the stretch, and I know for sure when it comes to big time moments like that, he's gonna always be ready.
All right, we'll go back to Bob Holt for our final question. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Devo, Baylor forces a lot of turnovers and scores a lot of points off those. What are you seeing from their defense? And especially for a young guy like you going against their senior and junior guards, how big a challenge is that with the way they can turn people over?
Well, for me, we watched film a little bit on them and did some of our homework, and we know that they always crash into the ball on a dribble drive. So I feel that a lot of kickouts will be needed, and we will have to knock down perimeter shots, and I think we'll be ready for that.
All right. Thank you, Devontae, for your time today.
Thank you.